Welcome back to the North American LCS, rounding out day one here of Super Week 9. I'm joined by Mandatory Cloud and Bloodwater of Vulcan. You guys have locked in second place for the summer split. You have locked in a bye for the playoffs and a spot in the spring split next season. You guys could say you're almost on cloud 9 right now. How does it feel?
Feels great. Finally, to know that we secured another 2 months of work, it feels nice.
Yep, we don't have to worry about our games anymore. We can just troll, right? We control all the rest of them.
Absolutely. We'll have to see. Coming into that matchup, it actually seemed like Dignitas swapped out the picks that they usually have or would pick with different compositions. Did you guys get what you expected in that matchup from their picks?
I didn't expect the composition. It was kind of strange, honestly, but the picks were really expected.
Mandatory Cloud, you were left with Karthus, known to be, one of the people that will make an impact during the game if given the chance. Your team was feeding you kills at 6. Did you guys do this on purpose? Right when you hit 6, a lot of engagements were left with 200 to 300 health for you.
That game was actually pretty much flawless when it came to just me being able to sit mid and farm and then just ult to get kills. I think I got 3 kills in a row with just my ult, so everything just worked out really well.
And having that mentality, obviously you step into a fight and you see other people start to disengage. You saved, I believe, Bloodwater twice through a run up the river. You saved Psychosid in the top lane once. What's that kind of confidence put into you when you know that you have that much power in the game?
Well, one time I tried to save Bloodwater and actually died for it, so that sucked. But
we both ended up dying.
I had a really early rod. I had a lot of health, and I was really intimidating to see a Karthus walk up to you with like 3,000 health. So.
And how did you make sure that happened in the game for Mandatory Cloud?
We just pressured every lane. We had a lot of wards up, and it worked out great.
So coming into this one, you guys obviously on a pretty good run now, having second place. Who was really in the back of your mind going to be giving you the most trouble coming into Super Week?
Thinking about it, probably TSM, but we're not too worried about them.
And coming in against Dignitas, did you feel that, they would actually be someone to give you trouble with the new changes in the 3.10 patch, or does that not really affect the game you guys just brought to the table?
We just tried our best. We tried not to underestimate them, and we took them seriously, and that's how we came out ahead.
All right, coming into tomorrow's matches, guys, a few more questions. Mandatory Cloud, you guys in the third game of the day are going to play up against Coast. And now we've talked to a few teams during Super Week. What is the choice when you're to bring out a strategy that you want to beat a team with? Because it's Super Week. You can't show your hand in every game.
Can you say that again?
Sure, yeah. What are you guys planning to do versus Coast with not being able to show everything in that first game or second or third game of Super Week? How do you plan to go into it?
We'll probably just play standard. I don't know for sure because we haven't planned for it yet, but probably just play standard, see how it goes. Or we might try some, I don't know, we might even try some crazy new strat. I doubt it though.
Absolutely. And coming in, finally, as the final question, Mandatory Cloud, what is it like for you guys to be in the LCS? Coming into this season, I talked a little about with Smithy earlier. What's the pressure like? It's not all fun and games. Sometimes it's work.
Definitely, we have to take it seriously. We can't troll and have fun all the time. It's after all, it is work, so being serious is what makes us come through.
Well, this little bit of serious has brought you guys into second place. Thank you very much for the interview. I know it's been a long day, but you guys have a long week, so we're going to get you out of here so you can get those practice in. All right, guys, Jat is over on the Telestrator. Replay Central is about to give us some of the awesome action of the day. Jat, break it down and let us know how it went.
Thank you very much, Riv. And I heard Kobe say earlier how with the turret changes, oftentimes the dragon fight could actually have increased importance. And this was very relevant during the TSM versus Coast game. And this fight's fairly unique because it's 18 minutes into the game, the gold lead is only 2,000 different, and it's a rare 5v5 team fight with both teams that have all their abilities up. So another cool thing to note about this fight is they are very split teams right now. Let's identify the tanks for each team. We have Nintendo X on Coast and the Odd One on TSM, both frontlining for their team as they should be. But then the thing to keep in mind is how do each other's tanks deal with the 80 carries? We're going to watch Don't Mash Me and how Odd One deals with him, and Nintendo X and whether he can deal with Wild Turtle over here. So let's roll this at half speed so we can track what's going on as the initiation begins to happen. Odd One immediately pushes Don't Mash Me back. And actually, if we pause it right here, we'll see how well Don't Mash Me actually got pushed back, because he's actually off the screen right now, channeling his ultimate. But it's actually the ace in the hole is going all the way towards the fight, which means since he has the long channel there, there's no way he's going to be able to engage that fight. And then in the middle, there's just a huge cluster. But we're not really sure what's going to happen in here because there is so much noise. If we roll it at half speed a little bit more, it becomes more clear. Pause it right here. What actually just happened is X Special lined a crescendo up straight through Coast on the exact same point or close enough to the equalizer, which essentially shreds the majority of Coast. But the biggest thing that turned this, I'd have to say, would be the fact that Wild Turtle was essentially untouched and in the fight, whereas Don't Mash Me is nowhere to be seen. So let's keep rolling this at half speed to see just how much they got obliterated. They're sitting on top of the Rumble ult. Now Don't Mash Me starts walking back towards the fight, but that's after Dyrus with the equalizer and Wild Turtle have ripped out the remainder of Coast. So this just goes to show how, right now at least, we might have a slightly increased importance on teamfight mechanics, which will change the dynamic of the rest of the games in Super Week. And the only way I can find out if this is going to be true is if we keep watching, both in NA and in EU. But for now, let's send it back to the desk.
Thanks very much, Jat. And I think we probably should keep watching. I think it's going to be a good thing because while day one of Super Week's in our match history, we should take a look at the standings and see how those team fights have helped people out. And Cloud9 and Vulcan, they're in first and second, and they're going to stay there for the rest of the regular season here. Those are guaranteed spots for them. TSM are in third, and they've also locked down a playoff spot. They cannot be caught for sixth place, even if they lose the rest of their games. They're going to be there. CLG's in fourth. They're actually still in the playoff run.
And so as of right now, the final two playoff spots are being held by Dignitas in fifth and Curse in sixth, while Team Coast is 2 games back in seventh and Velocity in eighth. And officially, Velocity just has no chance. They are eliminated from the postseason.
So coming up tomorrow, we've got more games, so watch. You've got 6 games tomorrow. Starts with Counterlogic Gaming taking on Cloud9, followed by Velocity trying to spoil Curse's playoff hopes and knock him down in the standings, and of course, Vulcan taking on Team Coast.
After that's Cloud9 battling Dignitas, Velocity facing off against CLG, and Curse taking on TSM. It all starts at 1 p.m. Pacific and 10 p.m. Central European time.
But before we kick off day 2 here in North America, the European LCS launches their Super Week with 8 huge games on Thursday. Up first, Team Alternate versus SK Gaming. Following that, Evil Geniuses taking on Ninjas in Pajamas, Gambit facing Meet Your Makers, and Lemon Dogs taking on Fnatic.
After that, Meet Your Makers face off against EG, followed by SK taking on Fnatic, Gambit battling Team Alternate, and Lemon Dogs versus the Ninjas in Pajamas.
That action starts Thursday at 5 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Central European Summer Time. Now remember, if you missed any of today's action, head over to lolesports.com, click on Schedule in the top, and hit the Match Details button below the games that you want to watch. And now that does it here in North America for day 1 of Super Week 9. So for myself, Kobe, Riv, Jat, and the entire live broadcast crew, GG, and thanks for watching. It was Nintendo Next. It was right there. Chowster implodes. O'Neal once again. Round 2 on the fight. There's Daydream, and that's what they wanted.
That's my boy. 100 degrees leather jacket sight.
Oh, it's a 5v3 Vulcan. They're going to get the face like the jump in on the falls, and he explodes for first blood.
Kill the Zaku, he pushed down mid in the game.
Scar doing big damage. A few more hits, and Curse is able to take the game at 60 minutes.